Hey everybody, the Real Behemoth here, back in with another video for Heroes of History. Today we are going to be doing our next episode for the new player guide. Today we're going to be jumping into our green Tesla level here. We're going to be talking about heroes to use, strategies to use for green Tesla for early, mid, and late game. So let's go ahead and jump over to our green heroes. We'll filter it by star levels, and let's jump into it. So Sitting Bull, he, in my personal opinion, is not going to be useful at all for green Tesla. Definitely would not recommend you use him. Similar with Amelia, would not recommend using her at all as well. And Ocelotl, light use, but again, wouldn't recommend using. The 2 stars, all 4 of these 2 stars, I would not recommend using for green Tesla. It's going to be difficult to see any positivity from any of these heroes. However, Naya, early on, she's going to be your main solo healer. And for green specifically, she's going to be the only solo hero or healer. So definitely would recommend you use her on especially the earlier Tesla levels, but you can actually use her mid and even late if you lack some heroes specifically. So definitely keep that in mind. Marco Polo, he's gonna be pretty decent. In green Tesla, he is the 3-star version of Edison. However, you got to keep in mind he does not have the attack speed buff that Edison has, so his damage is going to be very low, but he still does have some damage output. Herman, would not recommend you use him. Again, I wouldn't recommend you primarily really use tanks or tank type heroes in Tesla levels. We've got John Locke. John Locke is 100% going to have some use in Tesla. And I know a lot of people who, base their treasure hunt teams off of colors and elements. They have him leveled for greens. He does, kind of a single target, but then also has kind of like an explosion afterwards to where he does damage to everything around that target. So he's going to be decent for the boss and for the mobs. You're not going to see a lot of damage to the mobs, but he'll do more damage than I think people give him credit for. Artemisia, similar thing. Ironically, she is an AoE type, right? But she actually does okay damage against the boss for early and mid-tier type Tesla levels. But really, I would say John Locke out of the 2 of them is probably going to benefit you more. The only positive from her is she's going to help you with mobs a little bit more than John Locke. So if you're focusing primarily on the boss, she's not going to be as helpful as John Locke is. Attila is an important hero to talk about. So if you're lacking 5 stars and 5-star greens, he is going to be your breadwinner for green Tesla. You want to level him up as much as you can. You can use him in treasure hunt as an off tank, so the levels will not go to waste. He also has his self heal as well. So when the boss strikes him, if the boss strikes him, you're going to see him heal himself back up with no issues. So he's going to be one of the main damage dealers for green Tesla, if not the main damage dealer for green Tesla if you don't have somebody like a Robin Hood or Medusa or even Sun Tzu. So definitely 100% focus on, he's going to be your key hero for green Tesla in terms of the damage side of things. Green Tesla, unlike the other colors, you're not going to struggle with heals and keeping people alive. You're primarily going to struggle with damage, at least until the later levels. The later levels, you may, not struggle as much with damage, but might struggle to stay alive. You just have to time the skills properly, of course. Tiger Lily, must use for green Tesla. Hot Chips, also must use for green Tesla. You want to make sure your heroes are healed up as high as they possibly can. Keep them as close to max as possible. For a while, I was running all 3 healers at the same time, and that was before Robin Hood and Medusa, of course. Robin Hood, He's going to be the upgraded Attila for Green Tesla. He's going to be your main source of damage output for Green Tesla. So for those that do have him, make sure you level him up as much as you possibly can. You don't need them too crazy or too high in order to beat Green Tesla and max it out. But leveling his ability some, leveling his hero levels, he is going to be very solid. Now, I have Cornucopia on him right now, but I would recommend you throw a crit relic on him just for the off chance that he pulls a nice crit. His crit chance is very low, so keep that in mind. It's a 5%, but if you're struggling with a little bit of RNG, you may be able to get that crit hit that would make the difference with the relic. Medusa, surprisingly enough, with her poison, she actually does quite a bit of damage to the boss, and then she's going to help you very easily wipe the mobs, the minions that come alongside it. So 100% use her if you have her. She's very clutch, and as her being a 5-star and having one of the highest attack stats or base attack stats in the game, you want to make sure that you level her because her basic attacks alone are going to make it slightly more worth it than a 3-star, for example. Getting into some of the others, Ragnar. So Ragnar is an interesting one. He's got a burn with him, so his burn is going to be useful against the boss, but the rest of his skills, not so much. So it's a little bit of a tricky one. If you're lacking heroes to use, I would recommend that you test, some of these 3-star heroes or Naya. See what you do best with. See if his burn does enough damage when you check the battle stats, if you're winning, if you're losing, whatever. But check that to see if he's producing the way that he should be. Sun Tzu, 100% another one you want to use. He's going to be dealing okay damage, but the biggest thing about him is his ability. So he's got a buff along with his ability, and so you want to make sure that you use him if you can, because he's not only got his attack and his ability doing damage to both, obviously, the boss and to the mobs, primarily the mobs, but decent to the boss as well. But his buff is really going to be what clutches it up for you. So you get his buff at level 20, and all friendly units gain that 15% attack speed for 8 seconds. His charge time is 8 seconds, so you're never going to lose that attack speed buff. Your heroes are going to be hitting that attack speed the entire time. So definitely keep that in mind. He's going to be great to use, considering if you look at all of the type of heroes we've got no real buffers for greens aside from Hatshepsut's focus, grant of focus ability. So definitely use Sun Tzu, definitely use Robin Hood, Medusa, Hatshepsut, Tiger Lily, and Attila. Attila is going to be that hero that even anybody in early or mid game is able to obtain without any issues, and so definitely put some love into him. With that being said, let's jump into it. I'm not changing relics or anything like that, so I may lose because I did rely on an abacus. I believe I had an abacus on both Hatshepsut and on Tiger Lily, but I had maxed. I think they were both maxed, or one of them was maxed, and it did block the hit, block the ult. So I think that was the only reason I was able to actually 3-star and finish this Green Tesla level. But that's been a little while. It's been a good few weeks. So who knows? We may be able to knock them out here. So this is the team that I used, and here's the formation I used. And to explain some of the rationale, my Robin Hood is level 80 compared to my Medusa at level 100. So my Medusa is slightly more tanky than my Robin Hood is. I am going to swap Hatshepsut and Tiger Lily. At the time, my Hatshepsut was only level 60 and my Tiger Lily was level 80, and so that was the rationale there. So you want to throw your main, damage takers in the back, but you also want to make sure that Attila is placed where he is, because he's going to go all the way up to the front as well. So keep in mind when you're going into these Tesla battles and these Tesla bosses, each boss has a different skill order. So, where yellow hits all the way back, it hits back consistently. We saw purple, it goes back and forth from, starting from back, front. Green and red are a little bit different, a little bit trickier to kind of follow, but there is still some pattern. You just may take a couple times to really catch on to it. So let's see if we can pay attention here and watch that. We're gonna let Attila pop, and we're gonna hold off on Tiger Lily, wait till the boss hits. We're gonna use Hot Chips at early, have Robin Hood pop, make sure, see, so we had a double hit on backline there. Hit Tiger Lily and he hit Robin Hood. So two strikes on that boss hit. Okay, we lost Robin Hood already. So bad example. Let's jump back into it. Let's save the heal for another. Let's save the heal a little bit differently. Let's jump back into it and let's see if we can see something a little different. So it was interesting. So he killed. So let's go ahead and use Tiger Lily. Wait for that second hit. Hot Chip Soot. Heal up. Get everybody else set. You know, and his skill seems to pop off, at least for me. It feels like it's popping a little sooner. Let's go ahead and pop Robin Hood. Now let's pop Lily. Make sure we keep Hot Chips alive and the potential for Abacus to stay up. We're going to heal with Hot Chips because we want her focus increase. We're going to go ahead and use Medusa now to clear off as many minions as we possibly can, if not all of them. Popping Robin Hood, popping Attila, waiting for the boss hit. Heal with Lily. Second one, heal with Hot Chip Soot. So you can see it's a double hit. It looks like both to back line. We haven't had a front line hit yet. So that's unlike the other bosses, right? The other bosses have front back, all back, but the yellows they don't have a double back. So it looks like we were able to complete it and to 3-star this level. The boss is at literally 0%, so I don't know why he's not dead, but we'll see. It looks like the bleed is still affecting him in the back too, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so that's just a kind of a quick insight as to how I operate with Green Tesla. We'll go ahead and look at the battle stats real quick. So for battle stats, you can see Hot Chips that actually healed more than Tiger Lily. So Hot Chips that heals a lot more at higher levels. Her charge rate is a little bit quicker. And so long term, if a battle's longer, Hot Chips is going to be more important and more valuable. But you can see there, Medusa, with an AoE type of ability, she did a decent amount of damage. I didn't overlevel my Attila only because I have 5-star heroes to my disposal, but you're definitely going to see a lot more damage out of him at higher ability levels and at higher hero levels. So I hope this helps. Keep in mind the skill order. It's a double backline hit. Try and do the dual heals like I was doing. Use Tiger Lily first, and then after second hit, use Hot Chip Soot. And during the mobs, try and heal back up, but save a heal for the boss. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helps some of you guys out. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.